YouTube, what's going on? What's good with you? It's your boy Josh. I'm here in where am I at? Let me think. Let me think. Man, my brain is shot. I'm in Florence, South Carolina at the Petro today. Looks like a Landstar hangout. We got a few Landstar drivers in here today. Um, what I want to talk about today, let's see. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about lease purchase versus buying a truck. And I'm gonna give you some guys some valuable information for some people that may be in a credit situation where you think you can't buy a truck because of your credit or whatever. You may have some hiccups, whatever. Maybe you co-sign for a car for somebody, a woman or something, and she screwed you. I don't know. Whatever the situation is, there's still options out there. You don't necessarily have to do a lease purchase, and I want to talk about that today. Um, I did a lease purchase, so I have some experience in that, and I've also bought my own truck, which is right here. My little, I won't say my baby because sometimes she's a devil. We call her, if you see her on the street, we call her the silver hooker. Why do I call her the silver hooker? I call her the silver hooker because she costs me a lot of money and doesn't give me much in return. uh, but anyway, um, it's the silver hooker. So back to where I'm at. Let me give you guys a look around this truck stop here. Let's take a peek. I'm in South Carolina, at Florence, South Carolina. As you can see, the Petro. Drivers getting ready to go and take the showers and such. Got another Landstar driver there. Got some flatbedders. Let's see, night transportation. Oh, no, it's an old night trailer. I don't know. Must be an owner up. Let's see how he's backing up here. He's doing all right. Taking his time, whatever. Get it in the hole. This is a big lot here. You shouldn't have no problem backing up here. Uh, a lot of open spots right now. I think this truck stop's got like 300 something spots. So let's get it. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's get in the truck. Let me get in the truck here. Let's let me tell you a little bit about this lease purchase. I'll talk to you a little bit about this. Uh, just wanted to kind of give y'all a heads up where I'm at. All right. So um, lease purchase versus owning your own truck, buying your truck from a dealership or something. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. Here's what the lease purchase. Okay, I had a good experience. I went through Total Transportation in Mississippi. They you do a lease purchase. It's not through them. It's through Transport Enterprise Lease out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. So it's they. How can I? It's kind of a weird situation. You're not leasing one of their company trucks. You're leasing from a third party company through them. Okay, so that being said, that third party company, Transport Enterprise Lease, you could take your lease to any like any company that they deal with, which I believe they deal with Covenant Transport. They do it USA Trucks. They do US Express. Um, if you didn't like the company, whatever you want to switch. So that's a little bit of a benefit there. It's very little money down. Through Total Transportation, it was 1,500 down. They put the down payment down for me, so I didn't have to do that. Of course, they took it out $100 a week for the first 15 weeks. Now, what they don't tell you when you get a lease purchase, there's some things that come out. There's some fees that come out. All those down payments. The company that you lease onto is going to keep an escrow on you. They're going to keep usually 1,000, 2,000, depends. Total was $1,000 lease escrow, and what that is for is if you leave them, turn that truck in, whatever, you quit at any time. In case you owe them in their money, they got that $1,000 a year as they held. And when you get done with the lease, they return that to you. Um, I will say my payments on my truck. I had a 2018 Volvo VNL 780, brand new. I got it brand new. I put a lot of miles on that truck running for miles. I was making $1 a mile plus a fuel surcharge. Um, I was on a dedicated route for FedEx. I ran Florida and Georgia only, and it was great. It was a great route. People at Total, I can't say nothing bad about them. They were great. Mr. Stomps, the owner of the company, was fantastic to me and my family. Um, I got to give a big shout out to Brian Solowski out of Olive Branch, Memphis, Olive Branch, Mississippi. He was fantastic. He's a great guy. He was my terminal manager. That's the terminal I was based out of. Total has three terminals. They got Olive Branch, they got Jackson, they've got Loudon. Three main terminals. You can also use any of the U.S. Express terminals since they're mostly owned by U.S. Express. Now, total, I got nothing bad to say. Now, the lease purchase, I will say, I thought it was great. I thought it was doing pretty good. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it until it came time to turn it in. Now, let me explain something to you. I had a little situation at home. My daughter was born. Um, there were some complications. Just to make a long story short, she ended up with a noxic brain injury. Um, and it was rough times. So I had to be able to be home more. So I needed to turn my truck in, and I figured the way I could do that is turn my truck in, buy a truck from a dealership of my own, go to a company like Landstar where I can go home as often as I need to, whenever I want, however I want. I don't have to ask anybody, I don't have to plan it, don't plot it, don't have to worry about anything. I could just book my loads to get me back home whenever I need to, or just take off in bobtail or deadhead. Sorry, deadhead home. So that was the goal. When that happened, I need to be there for doctor's appointments. Need to be there for more. I don't need anybody telling me. Granted, now mind you, Total never did that to me. I ran my butt off for Total though. I ran my ass into the ground. I ran 3,800 miles a week with Total Transportation. So I made good money, but my payments were so high and the pay was little. So I wanted to make it. I wanted to bring home at least 2 grand a week after expenses, after all my expenses, fuel and everything, which I did. At 3,800 miles a week, I was bringing home about 2,200 dollars a week, straight up honest. But you got to run, you got to push, man, and you got to stay good. You got to stay on top of things. Um, Heads up to you drivers out there, man. Don't be late on any loads. If you're under a dispatch, you're under a fleet manager, a driver manager, whatever you want to call them, whatever your company calls them. Don't be late on loads, man. Be on time. Don't turn nothing down. Show them that you're going to do it. So when it comes time and they say they got 4 or 5 of you drivers in the area and they got this one load, maybe two loads, and they say, "Look, I need this ran, but hey, this guy's never late. He never gives me shit. You know, we're going to give it to him. Let the other four drivers sit. They're going to have to wait on load, but we're going to give it to this guy because he's always." And that's the way it works. And don't tell me, and any company that tells you that they're, or any driver manager that tells you they don't play favoritism, that's a lie, dude. I would play favoritism. I ain't gonna lie. It's all about, if I can guarantee that that load's gonna get there, and I got a driver that I know is gonna get it there, and I ain't gonna have to worry about it. It's like, put the load on them and it's done. I ain't got to worry about it. No concern. Why wouldn't I? It's only human. It's natural. I mean, it is what it is. It's part of the business. So, but I'll talk about that a little bit more in depth. For if you're new coming in the industry, I'll make another video on that. Uh, so back to the lease purchase deal. It was great. Everything was fantastic until it came time to turn the truck in. Now, because of the situation, I had medical documentation. The doctors even wrote me letters and everything to give to the company. Everything for her doctors to take care of it. Total transportation was fantastic. Fantastic. I can't say enough. They even offered to pay my truck payments for me while she was in the hospital, because that comes out every week no matter what. And since I ran my ass off for them, they took care of me. They were great. I got calls from Brian Salaski, terminal manager over there in Olive Branch, every day just to check in, make sure I was okay, make sure that everything was going good, how it was going. Don't worry about work. We got you. You do what you got to do. You be with your family. They were fantastic, man. I can't say nothing. Transport Enterprise Lease. Let me tell you about them. I thought they were fantastic. Thought they were going to be cool. So it came time to turn my truck in. I had a little over $12,000 total in my maintenance. All right, so I knew already there was gonna be some fees to turn it in. My truck was in top-notch shape. I kept it clean. I detailed it, cleaned it every day. I don't like a dirty truck. I don't like it, especially something you think you're buying. So they did me dirty. They did me dirty when it come time to turn it in. Now they did waive the lease termination fee, which is $2,000, which was cool, which is awesome. So I thought we were on a good step. Now the way it works when you turn it in, they don't tell you what all it's going to cost you to turn that truck in. They tell you 45 days after you turn the truck in, you'll get a packet in the mail, basically end of contract, whatever, packet in the mail, and it'll have your check. If you get a check back, it'll have it in there. What's the amount? They won't freaking tell you. They won't tell me nothing. And now I found out why. So out of that 12,000, about 12.5, um, I figured it was going to cost me about 6 top 7,000 to turn it in, so I should be getting $4,000 to $5,000 at least back. Um, Actually, not even four. I was really expecting 5 to 6 back, at least almost half of it back. Um, I'll tell you right now, I got back $2,000. That's it. Out of $12,500 I got, they sent me a check back for 2,000. I was livid. I called them, tried to find out what's going on. They had it inspected, right? So they get it inspected. They say by a third party when you turn the truck in. They said so. The Qualcomm system, driver tech system that Total uses, they mount to the dash, right? There's 4 holes. They charged me $150 to fill them 4 holes. I didn't mount that. I didn't tell them where to mount that. I didn't ask them to mount it where they mounted it. I had nothing to do with it. It was in the truck when I got the truck already. It was already in there. Doesn't matter. I had to pay for it. That's $150 for that. Where the wires ran through the dash, there's a little switch. They had to pop out switches, pop out a dead switch. This is a dead switch. You know, them switch panels, a lot of the trucks have them to run the wires through the dash. They charged me because that switch was gone. I have nothing to do with that. I didn't even know nothing about it. Charged me for that. They charged me the airlines on the back wall left some black marks. I tried to get them off with a Mr. Clean Magic eraser. I could never get them off. So what I did was I took a pool noodle and I split it open and I wrapped it on the lines and zip tied it to it so it wouldn't do that no more. Still, it doesn't matter. They charged me for that. The biggest tick me off part was they charged me $2,000 for 8 brand new drive tires. Now let me tell you, when they did that, they also put the measurements of the tires on there. Now my tires measured, the front drives measured 12:30 seconds. The front set of drives, 12:30 seconds. Now everybody knows, ain't nothing wrong with the freaking tires. They don't need to be replaced. 12:30 seconds? Are you kidding me? On drives, you can run down to 2:30 seconds. That's like nothing. They looked brand new still. I mean, they really weren't bad. On the back set of drives, they were 10:30 seconds. They even put that in their measurements. Okay, 10:30 seconds. That's still not bad. That's good. We still got till 2:30 seconds. And their contract states on the tire wear that they will prorate the tires uh, based on the wear. They will prorate the cost. Done. Cool. Okay. Fine. I'm cool with prorating. They didn't prorate it. They charged me $2,000 for 8 brand new drives. Why did they do that? I asked them. They said because uneven wear. I said, what do you mean uneven wear? They said the tires were uneven. I said, you mean the front set of drives had more tread life than the back set of drives, so that was uneven. I get it, but it's front to back. You act like it's side to side. They need to be rotated, dumbasses. Rotated. I just hadn't rotated them yet. That's all. Put the back drives on the front drives. They're still not bad tires. I don't care, whatever. They're not bad. Doesn't matter. So I told them, I said, give me the 8 tires then. I paid for them. Give me the 8 tires. They wouldn't do it. Says it's too hard. Can't do it. That's bullshit. So anyway, to make a long story short, be careful with these lease purchases. Somehow, some way, in the end, you get screwed. It's the nature of the beast. Unless you plan on going through and paying that thing off, which I planned on it, planned on going through the whole process or whatever. But circumstances out of my control, I couldn't. I got screwed bad. So, on to another issue. So, everybody thinks that you can't buy a truck because of whatever. I don't know what your situation is, money down, yada, yada, yada. If you can get you about 3,000 to 5,000 down, you can get you a truck. There's some options for you. I will tell you. Lone Mountain, I've heard things about them, good things, bad things. I don't know. I didn't personally buy a truck from them, but I know a lot of people who did. They don't really care too much about credit. They have good deals. You just got to be careful. Check the truck out, check them out thoroughly. And even then, you're never guaranteed. Stuff happens. You never know. It's like buying a used car. You never know. They're an option for you. There's another place in Georgia. I think it's called Bulldog Truck Sales. They got a thing, no credit check, 3,500 down drives. Their payment situation. I believe they said their payment. Man, I want to say it was around $2,000 a month when you got done. When what you end up paying monthly. You put like 3,500 down, 2,000 a month, something like that. I don't know how good they are. I didn't use them. I don't know. I used for myself. I started looking at the dealership. I was looking at all options, trying to figure it out. And I know that international people don't like because of the Max Force or whatever. But I started doing research and I started doing Google reviews on this N13 engine to see if it was the one after the Max Force. Still a Max Force, but it's the one after the bad one that everybody knows about and talks about. So I was hoping maybe it'd be better. All the reviews seem to be pretty decent on it. Um, so I started looking at those trucks. So I decided to look directly through International. Why not? Um, when I did that, International set me up with a guy named Travis Kuchin. He works for Sky Pass Capital. They're out of North. He's out of North Carolina. He's a loan broker. So what he does is you call him, you give him all your information. He'll run your credit and he'll set you up with someone that he deals with that gives loans on commercial trucks. Now that being said, he's got a lot more people that he can deal with that'll deal with credit. They know the big trucks. They know what they got, in them. When it was all said and done, I think I ended up putting like 5 grand down, and I bought my truck. My payments just, I'll be honest with you, about 1670 a month. Um, but I short finance term, short. I got my truck at a great deal. I went through International. I picked my truck out of International Shreveport, Louisiana. Um, I dealt with Tim Caseo over there. He's not there no more. There's a guy named Blake, a salesman there. That's another good guy. You can deal with him. The general manager over there, Matt, seems pretty cool. Um, you can talk to them straight. Look on their website, whatever. International is just a cheap truck. I mean, they're a cheap truck. You can get into not to. I'll be straightforward with you guys. I bought this truck. It had 350,000 miles on it. I paid $32,000 for it. Everybody asked me why I buy International. There's your answer. That's exactly why. Can't beat that. You can't beat that price. Even if I got to put some money into it, it's only got 350 on it. 350 on the clock. That's nothing. I had to. I could. You find a Freightliner with 350,000 miles. Find a Pete with 350,000 miles. See what your price is. It's probably double. It's at least double that. I guarantee you. Well, probably about double that. You're probably looking at about 60, 65. I mean, you might be able to get lucky and find one for 50, but that's about it at that mileage. So anyway, there are options out there for you. Check out SkyPass Capital. Google search them. Ask for Travis Kuchin. You can tell him I sent you. Tell him Josh sent you. You see my YouTube channel, whatever. I don't get no kickback from it. Nothing. Um, he helped me out, and it was a good deal. He can help y'all out too. I mean, a little money down. I put 5 grand down. Some options, depending on your credit, may not have to put much down at all. I mean, it's less than that, even less than that. So um, I tell you, my credit's not fantastic. So you can uh, you can get away with stuff like that. Um, Check your options. Go to these dealerships. I've heard bad things about Arrow, so I don't know. I didn't personally deal with Arrow truck sales. I don't know. I know that a lot of these places tell you have to be at a 650 credit score or something like that. Don't listen to them. Go to these other places. Check International. Go straight to them. The one in it, the way I got set up with Tim at SkyPass Capital, or I'm sorry, what's it? Travis at SkyPass Capital was through International in Atlanta, Georgia. I went to International Used Trucks in Atlanta, Georgia. Mike over there, I believe his name was, set me up. He's like, hey man, even if you don't buy a truck from us, use this guy. He can get you financing done. He can get it done and whatever. You can go pick out the truck you want, buy it from whoever you want, whatever. Knock yourself out. So I did that, and it worked out fantastic. I didn't buy a truck from Atlanta because they didn't have one that I liked. They had some mid roofs that were great deals, but this truck was a great deal I found, so I really wanted it, uh, based on the mileage and based on the price. Let me turn this air conditioning down. This freaking thing is blowing icicles. Anyway, so do your research, check your options. Don't fall for the trap of a lease purchase right away. Even with bad credit or whatever your situation may be, there's still options out there for you. I will say try to have a maintenance account. Try to have at least like 5 grand saved up. I didn't do it that way. I banked on the fact that after 45 days, I was going to be getting at least $6,000, $7,000, something like that back from my lease purchase. That didn't happen. Kind of screwed me. So technically, I did it with very little. I did it with 5 grand down and got started in the truck and was just a gamble and hope and pray that nothing broke on this thing that I couldn't handle. But with Landstar, there was some issues with this truck and it did break quite a few times on me. As a matter of fact, with the DEF system, um, is what it is. But it wasn't bad enough, and I was able to, use by using the advances off my loads, use that to make the repairs, and I worked my way through it. Um, Hopefully nothing else goes wrong, but I worked my way through it and now I'm building up a maintenance account. But I wouldn't recommend doing it that way because it's a gamble, but you can. I mean If something goes wrong though, it could sink you. Just be aware. You know, that's a gamble. I'm a gambling man. Don't everybody be a gambling man. It's not smart. But your situation is your situation. I don't know what it is. Um, so yeah, just check other options. Check them. SkyPass Capital, like I said, Travis Kuchin, Cuthin. Google search him, check him out, call him, tell him I sent you. He's got great options for loans. He can get you a loan from somebody. I mean, that guy is great. And then you can go pick out your truck. You know, when all else fails, you don't have to do a lease purchase. I hear everybody think, "Oh, I got bad credit. I got to do a lease purchase." No, not necessarily. No, not necessarily. You got to check your options first. It ain't gonna hurt. Um, because you're in a better situation to get it through a dealership finance through a bank than what you will be if you didn't. Um, there's some crazy looking creatures walking around this truck stop. Anyway, uh, so y'all keep it up. Just to let you know, if you got any questions about the lease purchase or one, anything comes up that I didn't cover that you want to hear more in depth, or on purchasing a truck from International or from the bank or whatever, and how that process works, shoot me a message, hit me up, make a comment down at the bottom, hit the like, subscribe button, tap that little bell. You get notifications when I post another video. I will do another video on just the lease purchase part and my experience with it. I've kind of touched pretty much almost on everything, really. I didn't go into details on payment and how it works. I can do that. That's no problem. Y'all let me know. Um, Here for you to answer whatever questions we can. I'm gonna start looking for some drivers too, some other drivers out here, and see if we can get some interviews, talk to some other drivers and get them to go on, see if they want to go on the channel and whatnot, and see share their experiences with you guys. Also, check out Nathan Galloway Sr. Gangsta. He's got a good channel. It's pretty good. Daniel McCarthy, he's got an awesome channel. It's called Stronger by the Mile. Check him out. He went from US Express to owning his own truck, coming to Landstar, got his own authority, and here recently, unfortunately, he shut down and he's got rid of his truck and his reefer trailer, and now he is back to being a company driver local, so he can be home more. But he's got a great gig, and he'll tell you about it. He's with HR Yule Tanker Company. He's starting putting some videos out about that. It's pretty good information. He actually showed one of his live paychecks the other day. It was pretty cool. Um, so yeah, you can't really beat that. That's pretty good. Um, Anyway, y'all hit me up. Y'all stay safe out there. Keep the rubber down, and we'll catch you on the next video. Y'all see me out at the truck stop, out of the road somewhere, man. Say what's up. Say hello. I ain't got no problem. I like to talk. I got more mouth than a Georgia mule has rear, so I ain't got no problem, man. Y'all be safe out there, and we'll catch you next time.